What's going on, guys? My name is Matt Omega, and welcome back to the Pokédex Quest Gen 2 with Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. In the last episode, we finally beat the game! We finally did it! Yay! Feels good, man. But in all seriousness, in the last episode, we trekked through the final dungeon of the game, Mount Silver. We took on the final and most powerful trainer of the game, our old avatar from Red, Blue, and Yellow, Red himself. And even caught ourselves the last couple of Pokemon before I could go about properly completing the Pokédex. Speaking of which, look at that thing. Isn't that marvelous? So, what I've already done off screen by the time of this recording is I have gone and leveled up everything that needed to level up in order to evolve through the method of blitzing through the Elite Four actually hundreds of times. In the meanwhile, getting very, very well acquainted with a very special someone. I'd like you guys to meet my new best friend, Tyranitar. Look at this guy. No, seriously, look at this guy. Their stats are amazing. Never mind, it's level 100, but his stats would be amazing even if it would be level 50. Anyway. But apart from that, I linked up with my practice save file over in Pokemon Silver, not just to get those sweet, sweet trait evolutions, but also to bring some stuff across from Silver that can't be caught in Crystal. Now, it does leave out one family that can't be caught in either of the two. In Gold, is where you can only catch the Mankey line. But I got another way around that, because I also had to link up with my old Pokemon Yellow file from the last Let's Play, in which I had to bring up some stuff from Gen 1 which can't be caught in this generation at all. Mainly just the starters, the fossil Pokemon, except Aerodactyl, we gotta trade for that. What else? Legendary birds, Mew and Mewtwo. And while I was at it, I even brought along my trusty companion DK the Primeape to fill out the Mankey line. Other than that, it was a bit more leveling up, a bunch of breeding, and hunting for a couple more evolution stones. Now, I had most of what I needed stashed on the PC already. All I was missing was a Firestone, which Schoolboy Alan gave over pretty quickly. 2 Sunstones, which equate to about 20 minutes of actually winning at the bug catching contest. And 2 Waterstones, which meant about an hour of trying to get Tully to realize that I'm not interested in battling him and I'm only want Waterstones. It took an hour for him to start giving in. What a dick. But, since I'm on the topic of the bug catching contest, I don't feel that I really did it any justice when I just flew to Azalea Town instead of Goldenrod. God damn it. Matt, we're going to be spending time there later, not now. I don't think that I really did the bug catching contest much justice when I went over the actual mechanics of it. Now, I did display the judging mechanics on screen toward the end of it, but now that I've learned a little more about how it works myself, I feel like I can try and teach you guys a way to properly win. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Matt Omega's surefire-ish method of almost always beating the bug catching competition, guaranteed. Kind of. Basically, the way the judging in the bug catching contest works is that the winner, or the winning Pokemon rather, is going to have A, the highest current HP, not max HP, B, the highest stats in general, and C, the highest individual values, which you're really not going to be able to tell at a glance because the game doesn't properly tell you what individual values are. But, theoretically, if a Pokemon were to have perfect IVs, the winner would always be a level 14 Scyther. So, part of the method is to go and hunt for one of those. Now, there is another part to this. This motherfucker right here. This is called Trainer Nick. On damn near any Pokemon bug catching competition that you've lost, even if you've caught a level 14 Scyther or Pinsir or something like that, you've probably lost because of Cool Trainer Nick. This guy always manages to catch the Pokemon with the best IVs out of the lot and is damn near impossible to beat. So, the method is this. As soon as you enter the bug catching competition, come over to the west side of the fountain to find out if Nick is here. This is where he likes to hang out. He'll be here every time if he's here. And if he's here, reset. Reset the clock, or just come back a different day. Just get the hell out of there. You are not winning today. Now, should you find yourself on a day where Nick decides not to participate, go ahead and catch yourself a level 14 Scyther. Now, to give yourself the absolute best chance of winning, because, you know, IVs are still a matter in this, so there's still the tiniest possibility of loss. To maximize your chances, you want to deal at maximum 7 HP to this thing. Which, at that point, you may as well just throw Pokeballs at it at full health. So, just follow those very easy steps, and you should net yourself a very easy Sunstone. Funnily enough, for some reason, I forgot to actually reset after showing where Call Trainer Nick was and went and caught a level 14 Scyther anyway, and I won. I never said this was absolutely impossible, I just said damn near impossible, and now I don't like how my luck is going to look for the next year. Because I'm pretty sure that just wasted all of it. But ladies and gentlemen, that is not the main event for today. For you see, despite all my efforts so far, while this Pokédex is technically complete, if I took it to Professor Oak now, he'd say it was complete. It's not complete. And I'd like it to be complete, you know? We're still missing one Pokemon, and that is a very special mythical Pokemon that is gonna take a bit of work to get, considering that it is a mythical Pokemon only available through an event, which was not fully implemented into the international release of Pokemon Crystal. Originally, the GS Ball or Celebi event was distributed on Japanese Pokemon Crystal only through the mobile GB system as an event you could activate after entering the Hall of Fame and... was it doing a quiz or something on the news machine? Some kind of game? Quiz? Game? One of the two. I already forgotten. But after that, you'd come out of the Pokemon Communication Center. Yeah, Communication Center. Communication Center and receive the GS Ball, which you would take to Kurt, and then get the event underway. Now, if you're playing Pokemon Crystal on the 3DS Virtual Console, you are able to have this event play out. Because for the Virtual Console release, they reactivated the event across all versions of the game. So as soon as you enter the Hall of Fame, all you need to do is come here to the Goldenrod Pokemon Center, go in and out, and someone will give you the GS Ball. I cannot do that. For this emulation is that of an international copy of the original Game Boy Color cartridge. A version of the game in which the event was fully translated, but never fully implemented. So, to get Celebi, I'm going to need to get creative. Luckily, the same creativity to obtain Mew in the last generation applies. We're gonna glitch it in. Alright, what did I forget? Oh, fuck! So, when you have caught 3 kinds of unknown, this guy will be waiting for you outside the ruins of Alph. Well, just, you know, the ruins part, the cave, not the full ruins site, but you know what I mean. But yes, this is a Pokédex. There are so many kinds of Pokemon. Yeah, it's complete. Ish. But what's this? What is this Pokemon? He's talking about unknown, because it looks like the strange writing on the walls of the ruins. If those drawings are really Pokemon, there should be many more. So he's going to offer to upgrade our Pokédex for us. So we'll head with them into the research building. And done. So he's modified our Pokédex to add an additional, segment to store just data on unknown. Records them in the sequence that they were caught. I see. The unknown you catch will be recorded. Check to see how many kinds exist. So by hitting select in the Pokédex menu here, I never actually showed this off in the Let's Play, but we've got a few different ways that it'll actually sort itself out. So if we switch to old Pokédex mode, for example, these are all numbered differently. So This is more in line with what the national dex would typically look like now. So, basically the Pokédex in Gen 2, it's known as the new Pokédex, and is pretty much what we've seen so far, where we've actually had, if we go back into it, we've had, you know, our new starters, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile up front, and pretty much everything has just been kind of jumbled around with Gen 1 Pokemon just thrown in there. But if we switch to old Pokédex mode, it's a lot more reminiscent of what the complete national dex looks like now, just for, you know, Gen 2. Also A to Z, which is pretty self-explanatory. But what we want is Unknown mode, which will show us all the different kinds of Unknown we've caught so far. But I still got another 23 of them to go, so, yay. And 26. That's all of them. Let's go see the peoples. Hey, I did the thing. Yep, all of them. It's a great achievement. Is it really, though? Is that the printer for handling Unknown? Okay. I've already seen that, but they're just gonna say the same thing over and over again. Ah, the printer. Unknown may be printed out. So we can print out little stamps of all of the Unknown variations using the Game Boy printer, which once again, I don't have. But yeah, that's your reward for catching all the Unknown. Totally worth it. Okay, let's get back to it. We're gonna glitch it in. But to make things easier on ourselves, and trust me, it will be, I'm gonna need to switch us over to my fallen Pokemon Silver. So, let's switch it over. Oh, Christ, I'm a guy again. That's actually a little bit weird in this context. I'm ironically enough not used to this. You right there, Sakuya? But I just changed over the game. I mean, it's nothing really special. Can I explain this later? Look, I really think it'd be best if I just finish this up now, get it over with, and just explain it later. I promise. Right, well, now that I've basically carried out my own death sentence, as I was saying, we are going to glitch ourselves a Celebi. And how are we going to do this, you may ask? Well, it's actually quite an interesting process. First I need to show you guys something. Behold, my legion of Farfetch'd. Why Farfetch'd? Well, because I thought I made a little bit too much fun of it when I first encountered one, and especially now that I've actually played Pokemon Sword and know how awesome Surfetch'd is, yeah, I thought it was time was due. Now, you should know, I did not catch all these Farfetch'd. I only caught one of them. Basically, there is a method in this game that allows you to clone Pokemon. Actually, clone them. I don't want that box. Allow me to explain. I'm going to switch to a box that is not completely full so I can show this off. So what I'm going to do So I'll show us in this box. There are 4 more Farfetch'd in this box. Yes, I have a lot of Farfetch'd. And I'm going to deposit this Farfetch'd. I have no idea if this is the original or just a clone. Now, what you want to do for this glitch to work is that you want to deposit a Pokemon into a box, and you want to make sure your game has been saved right before you do so. So by changing to a box or by saving before you go into the PC, just make sure the game has been saved, and then you're going to deposit something. So I've just deposited Farfetch'd into that box, so now there's 5 in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change box again. Any box will do. That'll be saved, yada yada. There's already save files, okay to overwrite. Now this is where the magic happens. We're going to hit yes, and we're going to reset the game. Anywhere within the saving don't turn off the power dialog. That is when you want to turn off the power, reset your game, or what have you. So, now we're going to get back into the game. And my Farfetch'd is still my party. Which, you know, makes sense. It didn't finish saving. Or did it? There are now 5 Farfetch'd in this box. I've just miraculously cloned that Farfetch'd before your very eyes. Basically, what's happening here is that, well, we all know that whenever you switch the blocks, the game has to save. I mean, that pops up all the time. It's annoying. It will be removed. Yeah, next generation. Thank God. But what's happening here is that when the game saves when changing a box, it saves the new state of the box first. And then it saves the new state of your party. So basically what happens is that it saves any changes that have been made to the box. So in this case, it's saved that I've deposited a Farfetch'd in there. And after that, it will save the new state of my party, in that the Farfetch'd in my party had been removed. And then it'll, you know, point me to a new box. The thing is, we interrupted that process in transit. So basically, it had an opportunity to save this new Farfetch'd in this box, but didn't have an opportunity to save that a Farfetch'd was removed from my party. And that's basically how the Pokemon cloning process works. That is not the button I want to press. Now, sometimes this is not exactly perfect. I mean, we're interrupting the game right in the middle of its saving. This is bound to corrupt some data somewhere. In fact, so many Pokemon Yellow speedruns, like done in less than a minute just by corrupting data. Sometimes some clones don't exactly turn out right. These are what are known as bad clones. Basically, somewhere during the saving process, we either hit the sweet spot in the timing, or it's just a thing that can happen. And trust me, when you're trying this over and over, it can be quite a crapshoot. Sometimes the data does get a little bit corrupted, and we have stuff like this. Now, this Farfetch'd is basically almost completely normal, except for a couple of missing datasets here and there. And then we got these ones that are at level 0. I don't even have sprites. Well, they do now. Look at all this. Everything is messed up. Now this is actually significant because we actually want one of these bad clones to make this glitch work. Basically, we want 3 things. One of them is a bad clone, and specifically, it needs to be a bad clone at level 0. We saw a bunch of clones of it at level 16, which is the same level as the Farfetch'd I cloned in the first place. We don't want them. They're not messed up enough for this to work. And sometimes you can even get a level 255 clone. That's not going to work either. We specifically want a level 0 clone. Probably the most important part of this, and I'm using this function to move Pokemon without malfunction for the first time here. It basically allows you to just move Pokemon in between boxes without having to constantly go out and save the game every time you switch boxes. It still has to save every time you move it, but it's a marginally quicker process. Possibly the most important thing here is an egg. Seems pretty simple. This egg is special. I specifically bred this egg from a male and female Sneasel that I raised to level 57 and had learned the move Beat Up. I made sure that both Sneasel had identical movesets, and that Beat Up was at the 3rd position in their movesets. This is significant. What we want here is an egg that will hatch into a Pokemon that is definitely, absolutely, 100% going to have Beat Up as its third move when it hatches. So one of the things about breeding in egg moves is that when you have two identical movesets, that the resulting Pokemon is going to have the same moveset. When there's a bit of differentiation, you know, different things can happen. And I don't know enough about the subject off the top of my head to really go into this much further, so I'm just going to keep spouting bullshit. Basically, we just want to make sure that the third move this thing learns when it hatches is Beat Up. And the easiest way to do that is for both parents to have identical movesets. So, we want the bad clone, we want this egg, and we want just a bunch of Pokemon that we're not going to really use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into box 1, I'm going to deposit my Feraligatr, and I'm going to pull out a bunch of those Farfetch'd clones. Alright, so I now have 5 Farfetch'd in my party, and I also want to pull out one of the level 0 clones. So now that we have everything, we have a bunch of weak Pokemon we're not really going to use, and you know, if we're doing this from scratch, the clones that you made along the way will work just nicely. We'll have the level 0 bad clone, and we'll have the egg that will learn Beat Up as its third move. Now we can get started. I did not mean to go into my pack. So, we got 5 of the weak Pokemon, so my Farfetch'd clones here, and the bad clone. First thing we're going to do is going to go to the daycare lady, and we're going to have her raise the bad clone for us. And we're going to immediately take it back. So now that we've gotten into the daycare lady and taken it back, it's gotten a little more screwed up. That there is a Slowpoke Overworld sprite. And things are still not exactly right here. We don't even have a sprite pop up anymore. Everything is further beyond fucked. Now, it does say in the party that is level 1. Don't worry about that. It said level 0 while it was in the box. That's what we need. Now what we're going to do is we're going to switch the glitch Pokemon. Well, yeah, oh, by the way, it is now a glitch Pokemon. It's no longer just a bad clone, it is now a proper glitch Pokemon. So, top of the PC. Top of the party, I mean. And now we're going to go to the PC. And we're going to use the move Pokemon without malfunction. And we're going to grab another weak Pokemon that we're not really going to do anything with. So I'm just going to use another one of my Farfetch'd clones. And we're going to move it into our party. But there's nothing there. That's an effect of the glitch Pokemon. By putting it at the front of the party, everything else below it has disappeared. This happened with a fair few different kind of glitch Pokemon back in the first generation, if you're familiar with a lot of the glitches that can happen back there. It's a similar process here, pretty much. So we're going to put this Farfetch'd at the top of my party. And here's how you know things are starting to screw up. It has my name now. Now, if we take that out, we'll now see that we actually have 7 Pokemon in our party. Which is obviously not supposed to happen. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the daycare lady. And we're going to give the glitch Pokemon back to her once again. From this point on, I recommend not opening your party menu. I've learned the hard way a couple of times that can screw things up. Now, we're going to go back to the PC. I am going to switch to an empty box. I don't have to do this step, but I'm going to. Just so I can keep track of what the hell I'm doing. Now, I'm going to deposit the first 2 Pokemon in my party. So it deposits the Pokemon that has become glitched and one of the clones. And we see things are already starting to mess up. The first letter of Farfetch'd name all across the board has been erased, and even though we should have had 6 Pokemon in our party after getting rid of that glitch Pokemon, we still have 5 Farfetch'd left for some reason. Interesting. So now that we've done that, we're going to go back into the move Pokemon without mail option. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go and get that egg and move it to the top of the party. Now everything's back to normal. Not for long. Now we're going to deposit the first 4 of these other Pokemon. And things are starting to get messed up once again. Letters are starting to be erased, and there's still 1 extra Farfetch than there should be. Now make sure that you don't deposit everything. Only deposit 4 of them. It's level 44 now, god damn. It's, glitches more like steroids. So if you exit out of there after having deposited all the Farfetch, the game messes up. Another thing I may or may not have learned the hard way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to the box with all the Pokemon I'm actually going to use. And I'm going to take one of them back out. And while we're here, I guess we can go over my my team from my practice pile here in Silver. We have Izanagi the Ampharos, Ghost Freak the Gengar, Slicer the Sizzle. I forgot what Slicer was a reference to. I know it was a reference to something. It sounds familiar. I just can't remember for some reason. Muscle the Machamp, because I couldn't be bothered catching an actual Machop of my own and naming it something good. And of course, we saw him briefly earlier, Vector the Feraligatr. I know Vector is actually a crocodile, but I don't care. So, it's safe to go back to our party now. And we have the Pokemon we just brought back out, our regular Pokemon that we're still going to use, and the egg. The egg has a question mark now, which means it is now under effects of the glitch as well. And these effects, these effects are going to be good. So we are going to go and hatch this thing. And here we go. And the egg hatches into Celebi. Now you may be wondering, that was a Sneasel egg, right? How the hell did it become a Celebi? Well, okay, how it became a Celebi, I don't know exactly how the glitches messed up all the data. That is something that takes much more research than I actually did and am willing to do. I'm going to be putting down the appropriate Bulbapedia page to what is known as the Celebi egg glitch in the description. It's for you guys to read for yourself. But basically, why the Pokemon changed? No idea. Why it came out as Celebi, however, is because of that third move. Because the third move that the egg was going to have when it hatched was Beat Up, we got Celebi, because Celebi and Beat Up share an index number. The index number of the move Beat Up is 251, as is the index number of Celebi, which is basically how we got Celebi. Somehow it takes the index number of the third move that the egg is going to learn and uses that to generate a Pokemon. But that's not the only thing it takes in order to generate something. Celebi for some reason is holding a Slowpoke tail. This is because of the fourth move that the egg was going to learn. What was it? I have no idea. I honestly cannot remember what it was. But it also takes the item. It also takes the index number of the fourth move and uses that to generate an item of the same index number. And that is another thing that we can do some pretty interesting stuff with. Alright, so I've just gone through all the steps of the glitch once again, up to the point where we deposit the first 2 Farfetch'd here, after giving the glitch Pokemon back to the daycare lady. So, the next step in the agenda is to move the egg to the top of the party. I have a second egg. I also bred myself this egg. This egg was the product of a male and female Noctowl, who I had both learned the move Reflect and placed that in the 4th slot of their movesets. Once again, the movesets are entirely identical, and Reflect is the 4th move. I can't remember what the 3rd one was, so, you know, the Pokemon we'll get is definitely not going to be a Celebi, because it definitely was not Beat Up. So I'm going to move that to the top of the party, and repeat the rest of the steps as we did before, and we'll go and hatch that egg. And this egg hatches into Yanma. Just a regular old Yanma. Again, I can't remember what the third move of the moveset was, and I don't really care. But what's important is the fact that Reflect was the fourth move that it was going to learn. And because of this, the item it's holding is a Terusama. Now, Terusama is the name given to, well, dummy items. They're dummy items. Terusamas are essentially placeholders for items that were going to be implemented or never were, or items that were planned to be implemented but weren't until Crystal, which is the case of a few of them, including this one in particular. Reflect shares an index with a very particular item that we can use in Crystal. Now, one thing I did forget to mention earlier is that when you hatch your Celebi from a glitch, you cannot use it right away. Because of the way in which the game actually handles leveling up in battle, it'd kind of mess things up to take a level 0 out there and try that way. In order to use these things properly, you need to give them back to the daycare and let them raise them for a bit. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to transfer this Yanma with this Terusama back over to my file in Crystal, because this one's very special. And back to a girl. This is, funnily enough, a bit more fitting, if only for the sake of consistency. Look, Sakia, I will explain as soon as we're done here. I promise that I will explain. I already know I'm in trouble, and I already know that you're going to be very, very angry at me. So all I ask is that I finish this first, because I'm not going to try and eke out of this. I just want to have this finished first, and then I'll explain everything. I promise. This just keeps getting worse and worse for me, doesn't it? Anyway, so I had the Yanma traded over to my Crystal file here. I, of course, had it leveled up a few times at the daycare first. Now, again, that Terusama in particular was very special, for the fact that not only was it one of the items that would actually become a proper item if I transferred it over to Crystal, where the item in particular actually exists, but it's also special for the fact that the item is a GS ball. This is the item needed to initiate the Celebi event. And if I even take the item off of it, this thing, for all intents and purposes, is an honest-to-goodness GS ball. It has the exact same item index, and even goes into the key items pocket as it should. There's still one small problem though. The item is not the only thing needed to initiate the event. What's really needed for the event to work is the appropriate event flag, which I did not trigger. It doesn't matter that I have the GS ball in my inventory, and it doesn't matter how many times I talk to Kurt, he is not going to recognize that I have a GS ball on me. That is because I did not receive this thing legitimately. By that I mean the event wasn't initiated, I didn't receive the GS ball outside of the Goldenrod Pokemon Center as I should have. So the event is not active, no matter how much this GS ball should come up in the coding as technically legitimate. So in order to get this event to work, I'm gonna have to dive a little bit deeper. Alright, so what I've done is I have gone and made it so that the event will actually activate for me. How did I do this? Look it up. Look, I will teach you how to exploit stuff that's already in the game for your own gain. I'll teach you how to break it into pieces using what's already there. I'm not going to teach you how to actually cheat. But basically, I've made it so that Kurt will now recognize that I have a GS ball on hand. What is that? Never seen one before. So, no one has tried spray painting their Pokeball gold and silver? Yeah, gold and silver, get it? Yeah? Yeah? Looks like a Pokeball, probably because it is. It appears to be something else. Pretty sure it's a Pokeball. So he's gonna check it out for us. This, believe it or not, is gonna take an entire day, so we're gonna have to go and wait an entire day. Alright, it's been a day, and by that I mean I just reset the clock so it recognizes that it might be a different day. Anyway, Go back to Kurt. And he found something. It started to shake while he was examining it. There must be something to it, though. Huh? What's up? Oh, no. But you got Slowpoke now. Anyway. What's up, Kurt? Ilex Forest is restless. Interesting. Anyway, he's going to give us the GS ball back, and he wants us to go and see why Ilex Forest is so restless. So let's go have a look-see. Now, right off the bat, we're going to notice that the forest itself is indeed restless. These trees did not used to shake like this. So I'm going to throw up a repel because I don't want to run into anything I don't want to. I'm also going to switch over another new friend of mine into the front, this Scizor. This Scizor is absolutely nothing special whatsoever, except for the fact that I leveled it up enough so it could learn False Swipe. That's, it's going to be very, very useful to me. So they're going to move on ahead. Up toward the shrine here. Hello there. Did something happen to the Forest Guardian? I don't know, did it? Now, let's examine this thing. But what is that? It's a hole. It looks like the GS ball would fit inside it, or any other Pokeball, because it would be specifically Pokeball shaped. But the GS ball's special, so let's put that there anyway. Oh? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the event that allows us to encounter the mythical Pokemon, Celebi. Celebi appears at level 30. And we actually need to catch this thing. So I'm going to throw up a few Leers so this doesn't take any longer than it needs to. Now, False Swipe is something I definitely wish I had at a bunch of different times throughout the game so far. False Swipe is a move that was basically made for catching Pokemon. For the simple fact that it will never ever knock a Pokemon out. It will do damage, and depending on how high a Pokemon's attack stat is, it will do plenty. But it will always leave it with 1 HP. Even if you attack it while it's at 1 HP, it will still leave 1 HP. So I'm going to bring it down to 1. Gonna get hit by Future Sight. And I'm going to switch it over to Niles. And check this out. Look at Niles! He's all grown up. Oh, you had to throw up Safeguard. God damn it. I was going to go on about how, while I was doing all my trade evolutions, Niles was the lucky boy who I chose to give the King's Rock and trade over to evolve, so now he's a Politoed. Yay! But Celebi put up Safeguard, which means it's protected from status effects for the next few turns, so all I can do is throw Ultra Balls at it, and I have a lot. We had to have just one more episode of this. Just one more. It could not be avoided whatsoever. Absolutely could not. I mean, I could have just, you know, traded over that Celebi that I hatched over in Silver. I could have done that. But I didn't. Because I wanted to show off this event. That was very close. And you know, I just gotta be a perfectionist about this shit. Why am I like this? So I assume that Healing Bell is some kind of healing move. I'm not too sure of what it's actually doing though, unless it's just to heal off status effects. Because it's definitely not healing up any health. I'm very, very close though. I mean, it's at 1 HP, so of course it is. Safeguard is down! Safeguard is down! Hypnosis away!
Sweet. Good job, Niles. Make me proud one last time. Oh yeah, future sight. Alright. We'll see how long this will still take me for some reason. 3 shakes. God damn. Come on, we're so close. We're so close I can taste it. Don't read too much into that. Haven't got it. That was relatively painless. Just like that, we got Celebi. The time travel Pokemon. Revered as a guardian of the forest, Celebi appears wherever beautiful forests exist. And that's it. Wasn't that something? Yes, yes it was. I am fantastic, thank you. And Kurt feels inspired by what he just saw. And it motivates him to make better balls. This doesn't actually mean anything, he's still going to make the exact same balls he did earlier and they're still going to be just as effective, or in the case of those 3, ineffective. But that's okay. It's fine. But now... 251 seen, 251 own. This is a fully complete Gen 2 Pokédex, of which I am going to be going over in full in its own little video following up this one. But since we completed it, we gotta go see Professor Oak. Alright Oak, I did the thing. I caught the things and filled your thingy. Oh yeah. Professor Oak's rating? A perfect Pokédex. Hells yeah. But of course, all we really get from Oak is just words of praise. The real reward, once again, comes from the officers of Game Freak themselves. So if we head in here and talk to the head designer... Yeah. There we go. We completed our Pokédex. Why, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to listen to this victory jingle once again. And of course, the obligatory diploma, which we can print out on your Game Boy printer, if you have one. And I'm actually playing on a Game Boy Color in which you can actually hook one up to, which I am not, so I can't. Damn. So we can print one out if we go and talk to the graphic artist. But, that's it. There's really nothing else for us. That's everything in the game, all the Pokemon, I think every item as well. I tried. Pokédex is done. Pokemon Crystal is done. Bit of a anticlimactic end to the generation. What can I do to make this more exciting? I know! Fun with Tyranitar!